5 p.m. if you're looking for it in your email inbox.
Yes.
Or
Okay, we have Mackie Moore here, Emily.
awesome, thank you.
We go ahead and make a motion to approve the agenda as is.
Thank you, Tyler.
Second.
Thank you, Dietrich, I think.
Yep.
All right, and then I'll let's see. Go around. Cody,
Aye.
Ben,
Aye.
Mackie,
Aye.
Dietrich.
Oh, there's Margit.
Oh no, Dietrich seconded, sorry. Crystal.
Aye.
Christine.
Aye.
Aaron.
Aye.
Maggie.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Is Margit? I don't see Margit in yet. But this is Emily. It passes regardless. We have quorum for now. Anyways, so we are going to skip the meeting minutes from last month approval. We will approve those next month. Just be aware. So leadership updates. We are still looking for a vice chair and some vice chair nominations. And then Connie brought up a proposal idea to create a rotational vice chair model of that we can open up for discussion, maybe like 5 minutes discussion for now. And if we need to, we can move it to email. The idea would be everybody kind of takes a turn doing vice chair, and really what that looks like, it can help you kind of see what the back end stuff looks like, but also give everybody an opportunity to have a voice in helping to shape the agenda, shape what we're doing. And then you can see, kind of what we're doing and what it's all about. I was thrown in, so don't feel like it's way over your head. It's all it really takes is one meeting halfway through the month with Connie and myself, and then helping out if needed with anything, but really just helping to shape the agenda and kind of what we're doing. Have stuff, if you have stuff in the back of your mind you want to work on, that kind of thing that you're like keep forgetting about, it's a great way to like help get that through. So thoughts, anybody on doing rotational VP or nominations for vice chair?
I like the idea of rotational. I think it is good for everyone to understand how the process works, putting together an agenda. You can do it like on a quarterly basis, but there's enough time that you really kind of get involved with it.
I am also pro at least rotational vice chair, if not maybe moving towards rotational chair and vice chair, so that way there's a better delegation, a distribution of responsibility. That way no one has to do one thing at one time. That also coincides a lot of the work that I've been doing with the Johns Hopkins Center for Learning Practice, as part of my racial equity advisory. And so that idea of decentralizing the authority is helpful and would make us probably a little more flexible in general, which would be good. The only question I have is then, to do this, how quickly would it take? Do we need to revise our bylaws to do it? Or can we make an addendum? Like, we want to do it that way, and then that's it.
Has the vice chair role ever served as the type of president-elect, chair-elect? If it has, then I agree with Cody's sentiment that chair and the vice chair would be linked. Otherwise, it's possible.
I mean, it's also possible we could do the rotational vice chair and like, hey, this is really working, and then evaluate if it needs to change, or just keep it that way, rather than do everything possible.
Yes. So I brought this up because the lived experience policy for the county has been approved, which means we do still need to revise our bylaws. So if we do need to change it, we just change it all. I mean, not all, but like we can change both topics.
Well, I'm pro this move.
I'm looking through the bylaws right now and there's nothing regarding.
Okay,
Wow, silence is golden. Last month I asked about the communications director role, since it was a big, under Ryan. Vice leadership connected. How would that communications director role play out in a rotational basis?
My interpretation of that role was just very specific to Ryan because of her expertise in communication that they offered to provide to the council as volunteers. So I, as staff, will be providing that assistance as needed.
and I forget, there is a grant that was applied for, under which a lot of those communication things could also be either delegated, paid for, or supported. Is that true?
Kind of.
Okay, kind of.
It has changed a little bit since.
We can, I mean, we need to like adjust that for sure. They're definitely more excited on paying for the lived experiences role than
Right.
for communication stuff in with that. But I think Connie, with that potential of the additional money Jenny was talking about, maybe we can
Yeah.
add some of that back in.
Mhm.
Let's see what we can do on our back end. And a lived experiences role could be a communications person.
Mhm.
Potentially, like could be something like that. So let's go back to that later. Let's talk about the vice chair role first, please. So I've heard, so it sounds like we need to rewrite our bylaws anyways. And then I think I heard Tyler say that there's nothing in our bylaws that says anything specific about the vice chair role. Is that correct, Tyler?
Neither the chair or vice chair, there's no term limit or recommendation, so I would say.
So we're good to do kind of be flexible with that. And then if we want to put that in, it doesn't seem like we need to. Okay, so I mean, I don't know if we need to like make an official vote on this and anything, but like I guess the main thing we would need to discuss then is like how this equitably rotates and like what that looks like. And
Mhm.
Cody, since you have some experience working on this, is
Mm.
it something you would like to help Connie and I with this first month and kind of talk through the procedure of it? And
Yeah, sign me up.
great.
Or put my name in the ring so people can vote that I be signed up.
Here's the kicker. Unfortunately, I will be gone the next month.
Well, we also suggested if we move to rotational, it'd be quarterly. So the
Okay.
you could say that if I throw my name in for the first quarter, for the
Mhm.
first
Okay.
rotation quarter.
Okay.
There might also be value in the chair, vice chair, one being a Lawrence City appointee,
Mhm.
one being a county appointee.
Ooh, I like that, Ben.
Be more complicated, but at least getting representation from both perspectives might be good.
And we can at least make it a goal, a priority, and we can't always meet it. but-
Yes.
I see Susie put in the chat oldest and newest members too.
Mhm.
I like that as well. That was really helpful for me coming in. I felt like I had no idea what I was doing, and Tyler and Liz were very experienced in this. And Maggie, thank you, Maggie. Maggie says she doesn't feel like she has the spoons to do this anytime soon. And that's something I think we need to be clear and aware of as well, is like what's our capacity for this and stepping into that. And I think that's a conversation that Cody and Connie and I can continue thinking about. Any other comments before we move on from this? I appreciate everybody's like openness, but also like reality, right? Like we are a volunteer board, and what's your capacity to also like help run a meeting clearly is partially what it is if needed. Okay.
What action is needed now?
I think,
I don't think we need to vote on this, do we?
well, you're going to be gone next.
So I think Cody offered to step in,
Mhm.
help out. we'll meet, and then and I might be, it depends, I might be on a plane. I'm not exactly sure that my flight that day. So that's only my concern, is that I'll be flying or maybe pop in online.
Okay,
We'll figure it out.
Okay. We'll
I'm
meet.
signing you up, Cody, for next month.
Sign up.
Thank you, Cody. We've been like talking slightly about it. All right, great. Shout out to Connie. There is a La Estrella mural ribbon cutting this week. Is this the last one of those, Connie?
No, the last one is the Mediterranean.
Okay,
It'll be next month.
awesome. Okay, cool. We didn't put any other shout outs. Any other what's the date Maggie wants to know? It's in my calendar, I don't remember. Thursday evening?
Yes, the
5:30.
30.
5:30.
Oh, I have it's not June. My goodness. It's this Thursday, the 21st.
Oh, it's not September 30th?
No, I'm sorry. It's this
I
Thursday.
have an amendment to the agenda for today,
Sorry.
September 21st, you say, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thursday, September 21st.
Shout out to Mackie on all of the awesome USDA different ag programs that you're doing out at Haskell. I'm seeing all of those posted everywhere. They seem like they're going great, and I see a lot of like engagement in social media happening when I haven't been seeing that in the past. So cool work.
Mackie, have you talked with Melinda? Something about fire stuff? Too much?
Yes, I probably do.
Okay.
But yeah, we got some issues going on out there with fire. They think they're gonna burn everything and it's not that easy. Yeah. So they're burning.
Okay. I'm interested to talk about that. We do a lot of fire research.
Yeah, well,
We do a lot of fire management application station.
we were talking to her about we doing something with the native language. Okay, so yeah,
Let's talk about that. Got time?
Shout out to myself. I got a local food fellowship grant for my coworker. So my market manager will be paid for full time for like half of next year, which is really exciting. If you're interested, there is still applications open for a K-State University fellow for the summer, June and July. So if you're looking to get, it's a K-State student, just June and July. I think it's like full time for June and July. You don't have to provide housing. I believe it's $17 an hour. It's a local food fellow. Let me know if you need the link on that. And they said I could apply for both. So I'm applying for both, but they will definitely prioritize. And it was really, really easy grant to write, guys. So if you're needing some help for June and July, reach out to them. All right. Any other shout outs? That's all I know what's been going on, but I'm sorry. I'm sure I missed everybody's other awesome stuff.
I want to give a shout out to Tyler for doing fantastic communications on food truck engagement. We have been able to, yes, we have been able to schedule tabling for Baldwin, Farmers Market, City of Lawrence, Tuesday and Friday and Saturday. Well, Tuesday and Saturday, and Cottons, and potentially Eudora. We're waiting on a reply on that.
Awesome. Yeah. Great work, Tyler. Been seeing all of that. And yeah, the community survey just has launched also. So go to the Food Policy Council's or the Douglas County Facebook if you're a Facebook person, and share that out. It's for any community members to give feedback on food truck regulations. I think that's going to be a lot of people have a lot of feelings on it. So share that out. Awesome.
Hi,
Yeah, go Maggie.
I have a shout out. I just wanted to say it was good to see a lot of you folks at the Baldwin Market on Friday, even though we kind of got rained out. So Emily and Tyler and Connie, it's good to see you there.
It was a great like Douglas County food moment happening, and like Nancy from 4-H, and Jenny from Live Well. It was pretty great. It was pretty special. It was unfortunate that it rained out, but yeah. And everybody that was at Black Forager, that was also a really wonderful food moment too. Like and Crystal, okay, man, hold on. I wrote this note down and I forgot, Crystal. Shout out to you for being able to open up and present Alexis Nicole Nelson, who is like an amazing celebrity. What a nerd moment for me to see you up there presenting for her. So that was super cool, and what an amazing opportunity, I think, for the local Lawrence food scene to get a big shout out on her platform as well afterwards. So great job, Crystal. You did amazing. It was great to see you up on stage there.
Thank you. I was really nervous, but it was funny because Alexis, she was super nervous too. So we were like backstage, like pumping each other up.
That's so great. No, you did great. I know you said you were nervous. You seemed fine. You seemed awesome.
I did not show you did great.
What did Cody say?
I said it did not show that you were nervous. You did an
Oh.
excellent job introducing Alexis Nicole.
Yeah. What an honor. What an honor from us from the Food Policy Council to have you up there, for sure. Okay, moving on. Member updates. I'm gonna go through my liaisons. Ben, Sustainability Advisory Board update.
What? Oh, yeah, we met.
Are you guys still a thing? Like, what's going on?
Wait, what? What was your question?
Are you still a thing? What's up?
We're still a thing. Yeah, we're living day to day. No, we had a really good meeting yesterday, but it was mostly discussion and talking about how we want to prioritize and connect with the sustainability commitment for the city. And next week we're talking about reviving a recommendation we made that went through in March of 2020. So you can imagine that City Commission received it but was not paying attention to it. And it's about solar readiness. So it'll be incorporated into new probably the development plan, so that when they build new houses, they can build them in a way that they can take solar panels, which actually surprisingly is not it takes a little bit of work, right, to have solar panels on your roof. And so if they don't build they don't build homes up to spec, but they can do that, then we can be building a lot of homes from now until a long time from now that wouldn't be ready for solar and would need a lot of retrofits.
Is the typical barrier load bearing on the roof, or orientation, or shutoffs, or?
That's a great question. So we have a board member on SAB who's like VP at Cromwell or something, and so I asked that, and I think there's a structural feature and there's maybe an electrical feature to it too, but I don't know all of those things.
Okay.
I will hopefully by the end of our next week.
Excellent.
Yeah.
This is like a huge ask, but is passive solar at all considered with like housing at all, right? So like, you know, how you're facing the south and like.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't, as far as I know, and I did look at some of the development code things, none of that right now is optimized or given pluses in the development code. They just had recently presented all the step ones of the development code, which is basically like the different kinds of how you get graded out. The second part of the development code that they're supposed to release in October is more about vegetation and solar panels and everything that goes on a house and maybe how a house is oriented. But the first stuff was more about how many humans you could put in a house and what that, on a piece of property, how much space it has to have.
Okay.
And some recommended changes to that from the consultants that are helping the city with that. But I don't know the exact answer to your question, Emily. I guess that would come through in recommendations you would want to put in round 2 of development code redevelopment.
Yeah, thanks, Ben.
Yep.
I'm gonna pause for 1 second on updates. Aaron put in the chat, and yeah, sorry, we totally forgot about this. Shout out to Maggie, Umut, and Connie for leading the health equity focus group last weekend. And we'll get an update about that shortly, but Yeah, that was last Saturday. So great job, everybody, on that. Thank you, Aaron, for that update. All right. Christine, Douglas County Health.
Yep. So our probably biggest update is as part of one of our grants, we're working on establishing a WIC location in Eudora. So WIC doesn't. We serve the people in the entire state. You do not have to live in Douglas County. But most of our clients are in Lawrence, and so trying to diversify and get a site established in Eudora. Also with the longer term plan of we don't know what the Panasonic plant is going to do to our business out there, and so making sure that we have a location established. So that's the biggest update in our world.
Great. Thanks, Christine. Susie's soil or land conservation.
Hey, we still have some cost share available for farmers. If you know of a farmer who has some small projects, I don't have a lot of money, so it has to be a small project. Like a small cover crop project, terrace project, whatever. Send them my way because I still have some funds. We're gearing up for the Call Valley Farm Tour. We're gonna have the soil tunnel trailer out at the Dancing Cow Farms for the farm tour. Educate some people on soil. And I have some other information out there as well. Let's see. And then that's about it. This time of year is really busy in office because, you know, it's that time of year. Everyone's planting grass and harvesting. So it's pretty busy right now. That's about all I have.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna, Susie brought this up, Emily, I emailed you and Connie in the summer, if anybody's interested in going out to the Land Institute site that they have, that's northwest of town, where they've got Kernza and perennial grains and stuff like that, we can schedule something like that, they all sounded, that group said that they were.
Awesome. Thanks. Also be aware that the Kansas Black Farmers Association annual meeting's coming up, which includes a tour going to the Land Institute. So I'll be heading on that, and Cody had said he was interested, but if anybody else wants to sign up for that, it's in like mid-October, like the 15th, I want to say, or 16th or something. Anyways, that's right. Ben, are you involved in that at all? Are you hosting that?
I'm not, is it in Salina?
Nope.
It's
Well,
Manhattan.
that one's here in Lawrence. That one's here in Lawrence.
No, it's in Manhattan.
There's no Wednesday is in Lawrence at the Land Institute's a tour, and then Thursday is in Manhattan.
Oh yeah, Tom, I think Tom McKenna will be out there, he's in the thing that I'm in, but I'm going out to that one.
Cool.
But yes.
Thanks. Thank you, Susie. Mackie, chamber update.
The chamber met recently.
Chamber, yeah, I mean, we haven't met, I don't think.
You had Taste of Lawrence.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they're doing all kinds of stuff, but we haven't met since I met with you guys.
Sure. Okay, thanks. Margit is, I know you're having internet issues. Any K-State Research Extension updates?
I can give an update. The 4-H kids who are competing in the horticulture competition are going to nationals in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Cool.
Woo-hoo.
That's awesome. Kalamazoo is great.
I can give you a quick update.
Go for it. Do your best, Margit. Well,
We can't hear you, but you can also type it on the chat. In the chat.
I will type it instead here. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we have a September 25th beneficials insect workshop with Dr. Raymond Cloyd that's open to the public. It's just it is a Kansas Specialty Crop Producers workshop down at Tableview Farm from 5:30 till whenever. And yeah, that's next Monday night. So anyone's interested can check that.
Thank you, Margit. So there is a talk, is that at Roberts Farm? It's that one?
Recreation District and other partners in the region. And so that will be a landowners
You're cutting out.
establish
Yeah, can you
a
type it out?
land care group focused on prescribed burn.
The
Kind of
link,
a
yeah, can you type-
community effort that it requires for safety and everything. So, okay,
thanks, Margit. Okay, the land
I'll try.
care workers- Great, yeah. Type it out in the chat, please, Margit. We will share it out. All right, back to other members. Tyler.
I don't have anything to update now. I will later on.
Great. Cody?
That's an excellent question. In my decision, no. Which is good. Sometimes no is good too.
That's fine. Ben, did you have anything outside of SAB work?
Yeah, Panta sent out an email, and I think we're trying to schedule our first, meeting for the Open Spaces Ag Advisory Board.
Cool.
Next week, sometime, the week of the 25th is what we're shooting for. That'd be the first meeting we had.
All right, thank you. Dietrich?
Sporting Kansas City, the professional soccer team, invited me and others to attend their match on Wednesday and then tour their operations, looking for ways to prevent food waste.
Whoa.
Yes. Worthy of a load.
Yeah.
What time is their match on Wednesday?
7:30.
Man, I got a meeting then. That's unfortunate. That sounds really cool. Keep us all updated and reach out to Dietrich if you want to go see Sporting KC and talk about food waste. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I can't take anybody else.
Just kidding. Never mind.
Try.
We tried.
Have a great time. Report back to us. Crystal.
Less salt on the top.
I would eat more.
Crystal, you available at the moment? I see you on. Sorry, go ahead. I saw you unmuted.
I'm gonna say my name. Sorry.
We're sharing updates if you have anything to share.
I don't think I have anything to update or to share. Sorry, I'm also wrestling two little towel babies right now.
Understanding.
No problem. Let us know, Crystal, if you think of anything, if you want to update anything about ICC or any other work you're working on in the next couple minutes, the next 20 minutes, 15 minutes or so. Sorry, Margit wrote in the chat, Casey received a grant with UNL to initiate a regional food systems program or hire regional food systems director. Margit, I'm really intrigued about that. I want to know more. Is that related to KFAN work? Is that somebody to represent, to like encompass regional food policy work, or what's the specific position?
We can update via email later.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Update us, Margit, update us through an email or something. That sounds really intriguing. Honey, can you, or Margit, can you mute yourself, please?
No, it's not working.
Christine, any other updates about anything other food policy work outside of Douglas County Health that you're working on?
Nope, not really.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Erin,
Sorry, I couldn't get to the unmute button. So in the food policy arena, the Farm Bill is obviously very important for Kansas, and the whole country, but supposedly there is no hope that it will be done by September 30th, which is when the current Farm Bill expires. But some people are saying they expect there to be one by December. I know that they are also planning to have to pass a short continuing resolution because budgets are also not going to be done in time, and programs like SNAP and WIC should be able to continue for at least a little while without during a government shutdown. And then on like KAC news, my job, Kansas Action for Children, is hiring currently an education policy advisor and a fiscal analyst. So if you know anyone who might be interested in those roles, please send them to our website or let me know and I can send the job posting.
yeah, I would definitely send that out to me, Erin. I definitely have people always looking. Are those hybrid, in-person, remote, do you know?
Yeah, they are hybrid for the most part during the legislative session, the state legislative session. So typically January to May, they would probably need to be in Topeka most of the time.
Thank you. That's really exciting. And so that's good to hear that those programs will be extended to work September 30th through the end of the year. I had heard that they were hopefully passing an extension of the current bill to keep it running. I do know a couple people who went to DC to lobby for the Farm Bill and for SNAP programs and to get it passed. So on both sides of the table, I should say. So hopefully they can come to some resolution, and hopefully SNAP and WIC can continue at the very, and sorry, those are the main things that are like in my brain as well. So I know that there's a lot else included with Farm Bill. Maggie, any updates?
Sure. I can talk about kind of food adjacent Willow things that I know are going on. On Saturday, we had a benefit for Willow and Just Food concurrently. That was the Taco Wars at Replay. That was really fun. I worked that event. Erin was there. Thanks for being there, Erin. It was a very successful fundraiser despite the rain and the hail. Still doing Baldwin Farmers Markets. I don't know if they've decided if they're doing an October one, but they did last year. So hopefully if the weather holds out, they'll have one more this year. Also tabling Eudora. Anytime I table for Willow, if there's an opportunity to talk about Food Policy Council, especially getting people involved in Health Equity Working Group, since that's the one I'm on, I do that. So there's some overlap there. And October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We have a ton of events. We are tabling Cotton's Farmers Market now on Thursdays, and we are going to be tabling at the Merc on the 7th and the 28th of October. So kind of food adjacent. I don't know. I just feel like everything that I do with clients is related to food access because many of our clients are food insecure. So that's kind of all I have as far as updates.
That's great. Yeah, the Taco Wars looked awesome.
It was. Yeah, Chayton did a great job organizing, and really everybody involved was just amazing. Like everybody banded together and moved the tables out of the rain, and we had a good time.
About Eudora Farmers Market, Tyler and Connie, did you guys get the contact you needed to table there, or sounds like Maggie might have a contact if you haven't? Okay, you guys got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Amy De La Rosa is a go-to person. But yeah, she's really on the ball, really organized. So hopefully, if you need me to do anything on that, though, let me know, please, because I talk to her pretty regularly.
Thank you,
Thank-
Mary.
Susie, anything outside of soil, land, health, kind of out of your
No, nothing really as far as, I mean, I attended a meeting this week with the where we discussed with Cody, where we discussed the policy for food waste. I did go to that. So yay me. That's about it. Everything else I do has to do with soil and food and farming. So
Great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Mackie, any updates outside of chamber work? Tell us what's going on with you with Haskell and B School of Business and USDA.
Yeah, we had our inauguration for our 8th president on Friday, and so Dr. Francis Arpan was inaugurated, had a community meal, and seen a lot of folks from the community, different organizations that I work with, and so it was good to see that. The weekend before that, we had an art market, so seen a couple people from around, got to talk to Aaron for a while, or Emily, I'm sorry, and we this weekend on Saturday, we have some big events. We're doing a USDA's hosting a color run at it's at 7 in the morning and to kick off the day. And so it's totally free. Anybody come run. We're gonna throw a bunch of powder, I guess, on you and let you run for 1.5 miles around the campus. Just the community activity. Our college students were wanting to do it. So, and then at 10, we're gonna have an open market to set up for any vendors that want to sell anything as long as it's legal on federal property. Keywords. So if food trucks or any vendors like that want to pull up, they're more than welcome. It's on our Facebook page. Then we also have a volleyball game, home volleyball game, and then that evening we have the welcome back powwow. So it's gonna be a big Saturday out of Haskell, and like to see everybody come out if they're free and yeah.
How late does your market run?
It's from 10 to 1. It's our first time to do it. We're just kind of doing a test run. We got, we'll have 20 booths set up, which is a table and chairs. I mean, you can bring whatever you want, like you want a shade or something. And then it'll be in the parking lot there in front of the cultural center.
And what time is the welcome back powwow? And is that open to the public or is that mostly for students?
No, it's totally open to public. I would have to check on that. I think it's probably 6 or something.
Okay. I've seen the ad. I don't remember it.
Yeah. And that's just that. So that's Saturday. Then we have a bunch of stuff going on this week and the rest of the week. Bringing in some pretty cool speakers and stuff. I'm working with Amy Bozeman from the Kansas Wildlife Department. And she's all about foraging and I don't know, living off the land or something. She's gonna put together a bow hunt for us actually, and we're gonna do like a cave. I'm not real sure about that. She thinks I'm she thinks I'm some kind of hunter, so.
It's not that hard, man.
Yeah, she's like,
plenty to do.
it's like, we got, but we'll get 10 people with bows and you can have a student and you can go kill a deer and show them how to do it. I'm like, all right.
Josh was telling me about this cattail harvest too.
Yeah, they're doing a cattail harvest, they're doing it for multi-reason, like we have, it's just really thick. And so they're trying to do some uses with it, and so they're kind of showing how it's edible and stuff, but then also the other uses of it is like to make a grass house, which is kind of weaved in, and so some of our students that work for the equity program, they are doing we had some another student like probably about 4 or 5 years ago built some sweat lodge out there, and so they're using those, and then probably in a few weekends we're going to be having a workshop that's how to build a sweat lodge, because we're going to build 2 new ones on campus that are large, and so yeah. And then I've got a lot of cool projects coming up that I'll share with you guys later, but one of them is that we're bringing in a soccer street 17 foot long from down in Alabama and Georgia. And it'll be on our campus, and then the whole community can come out and help us make a dugout canoe, which will then probably float over at Mary's Lake or somewhere around the area. But we want to make it a community thing where there's a lot of work. I don't know if you guys have ever done a dugout canoe. So we're hoping like everybody would just come out and kind of work on it a little bit. Just stuff we're working on, but yeah.
Great. Thank you, Mackie. All right. Crystal wrote out hers. There will be an Indigenous Peoples Day celebration that the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Fishing, Mackie Moore, and First Nations Student Association / KU and ICC are collaborating on. There will be a Hoop House workshop at the ICC Garden on September 28th. And before her talk, Alexis Nicole Nelson, aka the Black Forager, visited the Indigenous Community Center garden as well as other BIPOC growers garden at the Common Grounds Incubator Farm. And she also had a foraging walk with Courtney. I don't think her last name's King. Courtney
King and Courtney. The two
right. Okay, there is it's Courtney King is a different person. Sorry, my bad.
But Courtney King was there.
Courtney King and Courtney Mass. I was like, I saw pictures of Courtney Mass. I don't know Courtney King. So sorry, Courtney King and Courtney at the Haskell Wetlands.
Courtney King's one of our students out at Haskell.
Thank you. Okay, thanks. Sorry, my bad. I apologize. Thank you, Crystal. That's great. Yeah, Indigenous Peoples Day is October 9th, I believe. So keep an eye out for what's happening there. That's exciting. Farmers market wise, let's see. Yeah, we did a play with your food event at Baldwin City Farmers Market. That got rained out, as you heard earlier, this last Friday. We're doing this coming Saturday a giant check celebration as we are getting our grant money finally for some projects that we're working on coming up. So if you're available this Saturday at 8:45, come down to the market, help celebrate us getting this big check. Like I said, I got a local foods fellow to help pay for my coworker for partially full-time for next year. We're building up to have that market manager position be full-time in the future. Connie and myself went to Douglas County Coalition for Human Services to kind of learn about what they're working on. And so that'll start to help the Food Policy Council work on projects for help to write the new community health plan. So we Connie and I took part in some workshop activity that they had going on. What else do we have? We're working on a crunch off potential. It's pawpaw season right now, and apple season will come to a close way quicker than you think. So if you're looking for local apples, get in, because they're going to be gone probably in the next couple weeks instead of all the way through the end of October. And I know that I think Ponta with USD 497 will be doing a crunch off thing too. So be on the lookout if you have kids in school or if you know of the KDHE crunch off Mountain Plains event. I felt like I had one other thing. Oh, we have a trick or treat event coming up the last weekend of October. We're going to do some Indigenous Peoples Day event with our one Indigenous vendor, Rebecca Boleen, on this October 7th. So if anybody, I'll reach out if anybody wants to be involved in anything like that. I'm helping, having Anna, my market manager, and that vendor help plan it together. We'll be doing a Veterans Day event in November. And then we announced our holiday farmers market, which will be back at the fairgrounds on December 9th. So if anybody's organization wants to be tabling at a holiday market, or if you know of any like entertainers that want to participate or anything like that, reach out to us. and we'll be booking that kind of stuff here coming up. Any last things before we move on? Thank you, everybody. Sounds like some amazing, great work we're all involved in and working on.
Last quick thing is the forward group, when we met, one of the things I had hoped to have ready, but my life ran away from me, is we want to bring to the Food Policy Council some recommendations and a letter to send to the to the Climate Action Planning Committee, so that they can have for considerations to add composting to climate action, or at least additional weight added composting to climate action planning language. Specifically, obviously the curbside recommendations, and then also specific language to make sure that that county and city offices prioritize when possible composting, with specific eye maybe towards solid waste as a way of getting moving forward with composting as a goal. And so look out for that, because it's coming your way.
Thank you, Cody. All right, Connie, staff updates.
Yes, so this Thursday, the Mexican grocery store is going to have a ribbon cutting. That is actually part of the work that Douglas County Food Policy Council Health Equity started in 2019. So it's really exciting to see it all come together years later. So looking forward, this October, we will be using a large portion of our meeting to think about the next stage or start planning the Indigenous Food System Study Action Plan and what role will the Food Council play. So get ready. I will be sending some information prior to the meeting, probably next week, to get you ready, and you can take that information and work it on yourself at home, or also bring it to your working group and work on that together. And so you'll have a little bit homework between now and then for that. Also next month, in the coming month, so November, the Sustainability Office will have a presentation on the latest draft of the Climate Action Plan. So good timing on forward on getting that drafted before then. And they'll have a listening session. So that will be kind of wrapping up of what the FPC wants to provide and comment on the Climate Action Plan. The lived experience stipend has passed for Douglas County. So yay, yeah, it's been about a year, maybe more, a year and a half in the making. So now Douglas County will be able to pay board members who are historically underserved to sit on the board. And yes, so attached you will find the full policy and all the documents, including the application and the charts of payments, so you can look through that on your own time. This also includes working group folks, so similar to the KFAN mini grant. If you start thinking about if you want to have more community engagement in your working groups, this is ready to go. So talk to me if you want.
So how does that work with the grant we're getting from LiveWell?
Yes, so I share that with Ginny. I share the whole agenda with Ginny. So I think what we're gonna have to do, our LiveWell grant will be focused on surveying and the study and food through this process, because Douglas County, my interpretation is that they're not surveying their members in this program. So I think it would be wise of us to put those funds towards documenting the impact this lived experience stipend will have. It would be interesting also if this could be a recommendation for the city of Lawrence, not just Douglas County.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Can I ask you a question about the November Food Policy Council meeting?
Yes.
So who is it that's presenting the climate action plan?
I believe Jamie and Kim.
Okay, and will they be here in person?
I don't know.
Is it the listening session, if I understand it correctly?
Yes, so it would be similar to what we had when the land development code presented.
It was online.
Yes. So they will present and then we will be able to provide feedback and it would be open to the public as well. So if you want to bring additional folks. Okay, lastly, I am attaching the 2023 legislative statement to the agenda packet. And doing your working groups, start thinking about what are the priorities you'd like to bring forward for Douglas County. And next month, we can bring them all together. Ideally, if you could type up a statement or a bullet point list of priorities of your working group, and we can send that to our commissioners as they are drafting the 2024 legislative statement. So if you can go to that page, the last section is on food. It's food programs and systems. Last year advocated for farm to school, cottage food, and statewide farm and policy council. But you can also see advocacy for SNAP and WIC programs. So look through that and work on that with your working groups or individually, and then bring it back and you can vote on
I recall too, like those three areas came from Kansas Food Action Network's legislative priorities as well, correct? And then we voted on, didn't we like prioritize one of those, but we wanted to go.
I don't remember exactly, but I did contact KFAN on what their plan was on this, because it's not just Douglas County. I guess all food policy councils in the state that are city or county are working on this. And yeah.
I'm trying to think though, just for timing wise, because I'll find the dates, but the KFAN annual convening is gonna be virtual again this year, at the end of October. And so we may want, if we can, may want to wait to see what their legislative priority list is.
Yeah, I think we can bring it all here next month, and we don't have to present it to the commissioners. We don't have to send it then, but we have something that you can vote on. And then you can add to it after KFAN presents the state priorities. Or this could also influence the state priorities, I guess, for KFAN.
So I asked about this a while ago, and you sent me some great resources, Tyler, about what Food Policy Council put forward in regards to the solar regulations. I think that there's an opportunity in the future, or perhaps it starts here, of having a land use conversation for Douglas County, because particularly with the Panasonic plant being built, a lot of people in Lawrence advocating to close the coal plant, which means fewer, no matter what your opinion is of coal, which right or wrong, fewer electrons from that place coming to power our homes necessarily means, and a giant new Panasonic plant is definitely going to demand more electricity, and that's going to put significant pressure on land use within our county, whether that's for land for solar or for some kind of new, natural gas plant or something. And food, of course, is in the middle of all that, right? All that land now is either natural land or farms. And I'm just hoping that there can be a proactive, let's think about those things, or let's read some things and try and come up with a plan rather than kind of being reactive.
I have another difficult question for you.
Yeah.
Is there any use or evidence for remediation of coal plants?
So I don't know, but in totality, I'm not the expert on it, but from what I do know, there is infrastructure at the current coal plant that could be utilized for other kinds of things like that.
Okay.
And they already are pretty dirty there. So some of the environmental concerns that we might have For example, like putting it in your natural gas plant or converting that to one, or even a hydrogen plant. Could potentially be done on that site, but I don't know that Evergy, we're just one little piece in Evergy's web of things.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma, we converted, I think, 3 now in the past 10 years, coal plants to natural
Natural
gas.
gas.
So it's doable and it's not, it's just retrofitting it and it's cleaner, but.
That was Evergy's backstep. First they said they thought there was solar panels on site, which would be consistent with what Ben claims, and now they're moving it, transitioning to the natural gas.
Okay.
I'd like to
If
think.
they do that, I mean, all of those things are things that they say.
Yeah.
You know, that there are no Kansas, corporation, the KCC or whatever doesn't have any opinion on what they have to do with that plant, right?
From what I understand, they kind of just made that as a public comment, their commitment, and then.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm just hopeful we could have especially the Food Policy Council, I think it's wise. to have that discussion.
Because the protection of soils is in the food system plan, we
Mhm.
can, that, we can weigh that, like, we'd like you to.
They won't have to listen to us, but we'll be one more voice at least, and we'll have one.
Ben, will you be interested in leading that?
Sure. Yes. You
Okay.
just volunteer. Tell me when.
Okay.
Good thing is we're part of the Southwest Pool, which covers numerous states. So it's not immediately obvious that we have to replace electrons locally. What's your point, Patrick?
All right, friends, let's make sure to chat about that in your working group / bring it back next meeting. Appreciate everybody's passion. Moving on to public comment. Welcome to the monthly business meeting of the Food Policy Council. Please use the public comment period to share your food system interests, questions, and work with the council. Due to limited meeting time, please refrain from interjecting comment or questions during the business portion of the meeting. And up to 3 minutes per person, please. There's nobody public online. Is there anybody in person, Connie?
Yeah, Natalie's here.
Natalia, anything you want to comment? You have 3 minutes.
Okay, one of the things that I don't know if it's quite in the bailiwick of Food Policy Council, but it's really fundamental, and that is access to water. Yeah, both for agricultural purposes and household use. And this is kind of a niche in my neighborhood. But there's some land use development stuff that's sort of gone mistakes have been made historically, and the agreement has always been that, oh, a mistake was made, we have to live with it. And that's pushing towards some decisions on part of the county in development, site plan approval stuff that is likely to put about 27 private wells at risk of contamination. There's some equity issues there with minorities and people trying to age in place. This is all happening in the area that was zoned industrial when it was already being used for residential. And the county is appearing to allow those residential properties, or at least one of them, to put a second industrial use on the parcel. And these are all parcels that the Northeast Sector Plan says should be agriculture or very low density residential, not industrial at all. But the county stopped, when they passed the Northeast Sector Plan, they stopped short of taking back the zoning or making any clarification that if something already had a house on it, then it could not also be used for industrial. And at the same time, the parcel that's kind of at the forefront of this had oops, the city gave us a water meter they weren't supposed to, and the city won't take that back because the city made a mistake, but they won't give anybody else a water meter without annexing. And if our wells fail, and there's several organic farms, vegetable farms in there, if our wells are contaminated, then we do not have any options because we're in the urban growth area and the rural water district cannot service us. And we need to stay unincorporated, and we sure can't afford $50,000, $60,000 to hook up to the city services of the annexed.
Okay, that's time. Thank you, Natalia. Yeah, so just a quick response real fast. We did do a little bit of work on some water meter recommendations from Michael Allman's recommendation, and I think that there's definitely a lot for us to learn, and hopefully we can get you on the council and working on some issues. It sounds like that's definitely something that's high concern. I just want to recap real fast. What I heard was there's some private well contamination potentials, there's some zoning issues, and like there was a water meter mistake that there's definitely some stuff that we need to learn as a council about, and access to water for agriculture and households as we deal with the encroaching city into rural area. So thank you so much for that, and I think there's definitely some work we need to do moving forward. Yeah, Connie requested Margit. Can you type in your chat your funding request? Let's see if we can hopefully. So we have a budget request from Margit to attend the Regenerative Food Systems Investment Forum. Hopefully we can hear a little bit more from Margit about this request. I'm going to pull up the links here. Looks like it's in Denver, Colorado. It catalyzes conversation, advances education, and drives increased investment in regenerative agriculture and food. Connect with 400+ attendees, learn from 45+ speakers, and make connections during 9+ hours of networking. And it's women. Oh wait, so is that two different things? Sorry, Connie.
Yes, so Margit had sent actually 3 different possibilities for attending conferences. So I was going to let her present on her request since I didn't get a concrete ask. But it looks like Margit is no longer on the call.
We will circle back around to this. Thanks, Connie.
Before we get, Connie, can you give a quick update on the budget?
Yes, thank you. So I actually have to go back with finance and read or IT to redo the budget looking at our minutes because it's been deleted by accident, or I'm not sure. I'm not able to retrieve it. But from our last meeting, recalling just out of the top of my head, this is probably the first year that we have only about $400 left in our budget for the full year. Mostly because of printing and technology. We're getting stickers and a banner and signage for communications. So I think if we do both when Margit gets on later, it would be, if you do decide to vote, it would be an up to, and also I don't want her to miss her opportunity. If I would ask the council to be a little bit flexible on the vote if you choose to approve some funding. Even though I probably won't cover the full conference.
Thank you. All right, that's great. Thank you, Tyler, for that request for the update on the budget.
In
So
January, we'll have a full budget again.
great. Yes, awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is what we're using. We're using it though, right? Because here's the thing. You got to use it. If we don't use it, they'll take it from us, is what we're aware of. So potentially. So great job. I mean, and I think we're using it really wisely. Keep going to conferences, ask for stuff. We're here to help, you know, move you guys forward professionally as well. All right, we'll go back to that if we get Margit back on. I'll text her if I get a chance to. All right, so healthy food meeting policy. So this is a
Dietrich has a comment.
Dietrich has a comment.
If I may, so I hear correctly, there's $400 left in the budget before our gate request fund.
Correct. About, yeah.
All right, so my moot point, so this is just for FYI. I'm presenting research on the Purposeful Place project in Illinois next October, in a month.
okay. Can you
So
send
what's
us
my-
a budget request if that's something you would like to include for if you want help from the Food Policy Council, please?
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, is there any precedent? It sounds like there's probably not, but is there any precedent that the Douglas County Food Policy Council could ask for a supplemental budget request from Douglas County Commission?
We have not yet, and I believe we're only board that obtains these funds.
Oh, so we'd be asking, on top of being the only board that gets any money, we'd be the only one also asking for more money.
Yeah.
Okay, just curious, sorry.
This is, well, just be aware, this was one year we had, you know, some extra money that we spent towards communications. Normally, it's a lot of it spent towards doing professional development work and helping each other out do this. And Connie and I may be able to work around this with this grant. Let's see what we can do, Connie. We'll put our heads together on this too, see what we can get done. But we'll circle back. We'll get you guys budget updates and Margit's request as soon as hopefully we can get that done. So this is a request. So with this grant, it's a pretty awesome, easy grant. It's not a whole lot of tracking. It's not reimbursement stuff, but we may move things around depending on what we need and what's going on with this with the county's needs. But this is a request for included in this. What's needed from this grant is that we agree to the following terms for Food Policy Council meetings. It's not really huge change in general. We just have to pass this like MOU policy. That's what they require from us. So it's a healthy food meeting policy. The Douglas County Food Policy Council is committed to provide the option of healthy food items when purchasing food for Food Policy Council monthly meetings or events hosted by the Douglas County Food Policy Council. The Douglas County Food Policy Council will follow the USDA 2015 to 2020 dietary guidelines to healthy food options. Healthy foods are defined as nutrient-rich, high in essential vitamins, minerals, and dietary fibers, and low in sugars, saturated fats, and salt. Healthy foods are free of artificial sweeteners, according to the USDA 2015-2020 dietary guidelines. And the USDA 2015 to 2020 dietary guidelines and Blue Cross Blue Shield guidelines are attached as a document to the agenda packet. So basically, in a nutshell, this is just saying that when we do have food at any of our meetings or events, that we have options that are a healthy food option as defined by these dietary guidelines. A lot of it includes, like I said, like low sodium, low fat, also a vegetarian option, and that we don't have pop at our meetings, I believe are the main key parts to that. Connie, did I get that right?
From funds, yeah, so you can bring your own pop if you wanted to.
Right, exactly. Any questions, comments about this? This does not have to be changed in our bylaws or anything like that.
I think it's a great idea, and spurred by these guidelines, I brought unsalted peanuts, carrots, apples, and whole grain bread. No cookies listed.
Thank you, Dietrich, and yeah, thank you, Dietrich. And again, reminder, if you come in person, bring some snacks to share with people, and eat some snacks shared by other people.
Yeah, I just want to clarify that that means this goes for food that we're purchasing for events. So with FPC funding or grant funding. So I mean, and it's also an option. So if we get tailored donuts, we have, an option, a healthier option for folks. Also, I mean, if you want to bring whatever food you want to eat here, of course, in quotation marks, a lot of tacos are not healthy, but I'm gonna bring tacos if I want to eat tacos. So it's
I
not.
wanna say, yeah, I mean, even just thinking about it, when we got JB's last, we hit that, right? We hit, there were vegetarian options, there were gluten-free options. I think just even our diets that are happening in the Food Policy Council really hit that. And having water available. It's also like availability and what we're spending our exact money on.
I think this will be no different from how we've operated in the past.
Yep.
Not a stretch.
Any questions, comments? Do we need to take a formal vote on this, Connie, or just any nays?
I think so, just for the sake of the grant.
Thank you. All right. I don't know if I can do this. Can I make a motion to?
I move that we adopt the following terms for FPC meeting in regard to providing.
Thank you. Ben made the motion. Susie seconded the motion. Let's go through that down through the line. Tyler.
Aye.
Cody.
Aye.
Dietrich.
Aye.
Crystal.
Aye.
Christine.
Aye.
Aaron.
Aye.
Maggie.
Aye.
Mackie.
Aye.
This Margit's not back. This is Emily. Aye. All right. Thank you, everybody. That just helps. That's like one little piece we need to do to keep that grant moving forward. And we'll get back to you on more. We are working on our MOU. That's due soon. Connie, let's meet. We'll see if there's something we need to change around with that, since the county passed that, and maybe we need to do some more communication funds and reimburse what we did or figure something else out. Okay. Farm winery state statute change. So this is an issue that has come to me and that I've been working on with the Lawrence Farmers Market itself. A little bit of background is we have 4 farm wineries that are part of the farmers market, two on Tuesdays and 3 on Saturdays. And we were trying to do our best to have wineries sample at the farmers market. It's a great way with people not knowing about Kansas farm wineries, great way for people to learn about Kansas wine maybe, and learn that it's not at all just super sweet fruit wine, and some of it's a little bit varied, some of it's dry, some of it's has a little bit different than maybe you traditionally think. While working on this, and then thinking, so one of my wine vendors had gone to the Department of Alcohol Beverage Control and had gotten word back 2 years ago when I first joined onto my position that their ABC person said yeah, it's totally fine for you to sample. According to my sampling guidelines, it didn't seem like that was okay, but I was like, all right, ABC went above me. Another one of our wine vendors is Tom Holland, who is one of our state senators. And he was like, hey, I don't think this is something we can do legally. Can you look into this? Can you work on this and get this to be legal? So then I brought this back to, because I'd been doing some like wine garden events, and so then I brought this to Parks and Rec, who is my partner, who we run our Tuesday evening market on, and was like, hey, how do we make this legal? Because we've been doing special use permits to do these wine gardens. So through him and through the city, we ended up writing a resolution. I don't know if actually they're sure that's the right word. To allow sampling at we put it in to make every Tuesday and Saturday market be like a special event. And so we wrote in all this. This is a little bit of back history. Did all this work, got this resolution passed through the city commission. Then it turns out then the like manager of that other ABC person, the head ABC person, said, actually, that's not gonna fly, because the farmers market is a doing business as usual, not an event. So then we had to take away sampling. So basically now this is something that is they're not allowed to sample at either the Saturday or the Tuesday market or any farm. They're not technically allowed to sample wines at any farmers market in the state. So now this is like a state issue, but it's been requested that this is something that maybe we could work on with some pressure coming from the county food policy council, and then eventually bring it to Kansas Food Action Network and bring it out to the statewide. I talked with my various wineries about it, and it would just be such a big economic driver for them to be able to sample, because without that, people don't know what their wine tastes like. They're not able to sample it. Some of the things we come up against, as I talked to Tom Holland about this, is that farm wineries are already allowed more leniency with how sales work than like breweries. So farm wineries are allowed to sell directly without a distributor, versus if you're a brewery, you have to have a distributor. So that's kind of a big deal already. And so he was unsure if this is, I don't know, going to be a lot bigger of a fight than just trying to get this thing changed. My proposal at the very least is to get the language to be a little clearer. So all of the different statutes are very unclear in how they're written and I mean, the fact that we had to just do all this roundabout work and did a bunch of policy change, and then it absolutely didn't matter anyways, was very frustrating, but was a great little exercise I learned. Anyways, thoughts, is this something has anybody worked with ABC stuff before? Anybody think this is a worthy cause or absolutely not? I talked just recently again with my wineries, and they're, this is something they're really passionate about, and I'm not sure. So Tom said he's not going to champion it because of the potential issues with beer, but he would be willing to work on it if it was a consensus with a lot of the other wineries.
Emily, I like the idea of bringing Kansas Food Action Network into this, because it seems like eventually it's going to be a statewide issue.
Yeah.
So would it be more beneficial for Food Policy Council to have a letter of support that you could do in conjunction with local wineries, because you're promoting agritourism and food related activities in your county, and then elevate it to KFAM to do the same in those communities? And so then there could be multiple group letters of support, or could there be one statewide of all multiple councils that sign a letter of support? I don't know what would be more impactful to
I like that. Yeah, that was my thoughts too, Tyler. I just wanted to kind of present the initial like whole situation. And since this is not since like I worked on it really locally and now it's like, okay, now it needs to like go the next level. So I agree. I think the letter of support and getting like a letters of support from wineries as well, and then moving outwards was definitely my thought process on that.
Have you talked to Eileen?
I have not yet. No, I wanted to talk to you guys first before bringing this outside of our county.
Yeah, I would get her input a little bit too. She might know what would be more effective
Why?
because she was a state legislator.
She's our lobbyist for Kansas Food Action Network.
Oh, better.
All right. Oh no, she's not, Erin. What is she then? Sorry. I'm like, I don't know exactly.
Sorry, I was trying to type. I didn't mean to just say no, she isn't.
No, you're fine. I'm like, that's why I was like, I'm not sure. Is she a lobbyist? I'm not sure.
She's a consultant. She's a
consultant.
consultant for KFAN, but they do have a set of lobbyists. Stuart Little and Mallory Lutz are their lobbyists.
Yes, which are the same ones for the county.
Oh,
That's, no, but yeah. Stuart Little and Robert.
and Mickey Mouse was working on.
But I think it sounds like definitely if we can lean in on a letter with the wineries. At the very least, we can take that to KFAN and ask them what they'd like to do next, in addition to giving that to Tom Holland and going, okay, now do your job.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
that's not sure that I meant it. But I still feel it.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. I'll draft a letter and bring it back to the next meet, or I'll send it to in October, and I'll try my best to make the October meeting. I'll see what flights are happening then. Thank you, everybody. All right, sorry, any other comments or questions about that issue before I move on?
Emily, if you want me to help you with the letter, we can make some connections to the food system plan too. Just so
Great.
There's some connection.
Thank you, Tyler. Yeah, it's definitely like I mean, it's farm wineries, it's economic development, it's agritourism. Well, I don't know about agritourism because it's coming to the farmers market, but it's farmers market. It's yeah, it would really help them because we had a couple farmers market, a couple wineries that were like, we're not coming back until we can sample. And it was like, oh well, you used to not be able to, because like that was the thing, is like we didn't think you could, and then we thought you could, and then now we know you can't. So it's been a good process for me to learn. But it's, I mean, in general, it's, as my food and farm working group talks about, is like all of that's very confusing. All the KDA rules and everything. All right, sorry. Connie, one thing I don't see on here is updates for working groups, but we'll get there.
It's yeah, I think last month we decided to send updates via email. But I think we're still getting into the habit, so
thanks.
We'll do it next month.
Okay, I got a text from Margit. Margit, do you have okay service, or would you like me to read your texts?
I do right now. So like, sorry that I've been bopping off and off because my internet connection's unstable, but I closed, I don't know why, there were extra windows open for Zoom and all this nonsense. So I closed it down. There's only this window open on my phone, etc. Anyway, yes, you were reading a little bit about the RFSI forum when I dropped off again. And so I can't open that window. If you wanted to just read that again, I can, or did they get that? You all got the gist of it, right? So these are people, it's a networking conference to be able to find people, find alliances with potential private investors, which I think are just as important or sometimes even more important than grant funded program, dependency for developing regional food systems. So that's where, I have ideas within K-State or within the agricultural sector of looking at scaling production with a network of farmers in this region. So that's where I'm hoping to meet some of these different investment companies or individuals. And then the boot camp is the one day. So I thought, well, if funds were tight, I could just maybe go for the initial boot camp or just table it till next year. I mean, they've been having it for a few years only, and then put it on for next year to be more prepared, because I didn't realize the budget
Okay.
constraints and everything.
So Margie, just an FYI, we're not exactly 100% sure. We have about $300 to $400 in our budget. And our precedence is that we will pay 50% of a request. Am I correct on that?
Mhm.
Or do we have an up to?
That's what we did for Crystal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe our precedent is 50%. So if you want to make a request, do you have a specific proposal request on what you're hoping to
Okay.
fund?
Okay. Yeah, and that's where I'm, partly having to figure out, because I didn't understand the precedent and everything for partial funding and everything. So I'd have to find extra support, and I don't know that I have enough time to do that ahead of next week. Part of that was because there was a delay in having to wait to hear from you all, and so I was kind of scrambling, because the timing of this meeting, as I was looking at it already in early September, I had to wait. So anyway, if I'd known that, I would have been working harder to find other partners to get me there, etc. So I might have to just table it till next year and be better prepared in figuring out some other connections. So at this point, I might just table the whole request. Did you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm looking at the is the boot camps the Women Transforming Food and Finance? Is that what you're referencing to as the boot camp? The one in Georgia, is that the boot camp?
No, the boot camp is the first day of the RFSI, and then no, the women's program is separate from the boot camp and the RFSI forum. So the boot camp is the first day of the RFSI forum of just kind of overview, and then there's different programs and work like roundtables and discussions and networking during the RFSI forum. So anyway, I think I don't know if I cut out to you guys because it all froze again for me. Sorry on your end, but I didn't know what you heard of what I was saying, and maybe recognizing that because I don't have other partner funding, I might have to table my request in order to, make better preparations next year, because the timing of it was kind of off with having to wait for this meeting. So forgive me for that.
Margie, for the record, could you tell us what the request is, that if we aim to go to ask the county for commensurate, like yearly increase in funds or biannual?
She had put it in the chat.
Okay, because I can't see.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh,
That's
I'm so
okay.
sorry. I thought I could only see this. Okay.
Oh, maybe it was not sent to everyone. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's.
Can you forward it or?
Screen share? You should all be able to see my screen, correct?
Yes, we are seeing what you're doing.
Oh my.
Oh, now we see your background.
Sorry.
Don't look at my background.
Look at all.
Okay,
look at
I
all
can just
those
tell everybody.
unorganized.
While I have a connection, I can just tell everybody too.
Okay, it says airfare. Okay, the boot camp is 99 plus
Okay.
air 450.
So I can tell people because
Lodging 200.
okay.
650 for boot amp forum, 2 nights lodging 400. Okay. I'm not sure.
So it would either be something like, say, $750 for the 1 day boot camp, or more like 800 with. I mean, this is the full amount. Obviously, you guys would only portion 50% of it, but if I did the whole forum, it's $650 with 2 nights of lodging, 400, and the airfare on top of that. So it's it's over $1,000. It's like a $1,400 to $1,500 proposition for the entire conference. The women's meeting is shorter and therefore less lodging, less fee for the conference itself was probably $850 total with lodging. Sorry. I don't know what airfares are these days, so it's really hard to estimate, but $650 for the women's retreat with the lodging and then airfare. So another $1,000, so $1,500 for RFSI. Does that make sense? Did I freeze?
Nope, you're good.
Procedural recommendation for 2024.
Yeah, when I was looking
Anyway.
through the budget, it was about 1,200 medium. The average on what has been distributed for this kind of support, but I think leadership and I, and maybe Tyler, we can make an easier request form and have some better guidance.
Well, I'm just kind of wondering too, if we need to like. One, we probably need the budget of every, like in every package. And
Yeah.
that'd be helpful. And then maybe think about, when we're doing our retreat plan, maybe we set aside a certain amount of dollars for the first half of the year and a certain amount of dollars for the second half of the year, because I know the conferences that we've had attended in the past, always been in the second half. Of the year. So I don't want to take away from any opportunities for people to be able to attend those. It's just a really hard to relate it all in the first part of the year. Well, no, like you let's say we delegated 2,000, but it's hard because then sometimes we get to that pickle where we're at the end of the year and we have all this money to spend. So it's hard to balance. So the sooner we can find out and get those on a calendar, so we can kind of plan out roughly how we're spending our budget.
So what I heard from Tyler was, in the future, we can work on maybe doing a budget for the first half of the year, budget for the second half of the year, spread it out better. And then what I heard from Connie was we can work on an easier request form, some precedences, and help keep track of our budget a little bit better as we move forward together. Did I hear that correctly? Tyler was kind of in and out a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And just to allow all the members.
So yeah, I appreciate your thoughtfulness, and I'm just sorry for my poor planning about it.
Nope, and then we lost her. So okay, so my understanding was that Margit is wanting to table this request because we were not exactly sure on what our budget is, and and she won't be able to cover the other half or the rest of it of what is needed for this. Is that correct, everybody?
That appears to be the understanding.
All right, we will see if we need to discuss that anymore if we get Margit back.
She's back, it looks like it.
Oh. Margit, am I understanding correctly, and I'm sorry if I misunderstood this, that you're wanting to table this for now? Because we won't be able to cover the majority, to cover enough to get you to this conference? Text me or write in the chat if you need to as well, Margit.
I think that was what was said.
Okay. As we move forward, we'll definitely get
right now. Sorry, it's all been.
Margie, you're cutting off. If you could please type it, that would be great. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I'm moving my own slides here. All right, so moving
Yeah,
forward.
it's partly a lot of things over each other, so it's really hard. Anyway,
Type anything in the chat, please, Margie. Thank you. I want to make sure I can understand you. You're cutting out a lot. Moving forward, we will work harder on making sure we have clear communication on how we're and in precedences on how to make budget requests and how we're working all of that out. Bear with us here, folks. We're doing what we can. And also, so yes, we're working groups wise. If you have updates for your working group that you want to share, please email those to Connie and or myself beforehand. So we can update those to everybody. Is there anything that is pressing? Connie put in
That's for the next item.
okay, great, thanks. Okay. Yeah, communicate that to us about working group stuff. Keep doing the thing. I know all the working groups are meeting pretty regularly. I know Food and Farm had a wonderful meeting and is moving forward. So reach out if you need anything from Connie and or myself and or Cody for this next month or next quarter, and then we'll do some work on that. We're going to do a communications working session. Connie put this in here. Tell me more.
Yes, so we usually at least do a couple of events where we reach out to the community, and right now this would be the time to organize those volunteer opportunities to table across the county. Tyler with the Economic Development Working Group has organized several tabling events and would like your participation if you have time to talk to community members and get engagement for the food truck survey. Also, in addition, there is the Douglas County Farm Tour happening. In the past, I believe Cody was the last person last year. Did you table there?
I tabled.
Diedrich and Cody. Tyler.
Tamara tabled.
Oh yeah, Tamara did table. Okay, so we had 4 members table at the farm tour. If you're interested in doing it this year again, I think we should spend some time planning this out.
Can someone remind me, so we've tabled at farms in the farm tour in the past. I remember prior to me doing it last year when we did it at Pendleton's, we also done it at Juniper Hill, is that correct? The year before. And so the question I have now is, we did do Juniper Hill last year, correct?
Right.
Is that still, what was the reasoning? Capacity. Okay, I didn't know if there was simply like, they were like, hey, this isn't working for us. Because another consideration is Juniper Hill now has their pizza oven, and we should check to see if they're operating that at the Cobb Valley Farm Tour, because that might affect where we prioritize, where we might get more time with people. So if we think that Juniper, it might be worth considering returning to Juniper Hill this time, or depending on how much capacity there is, there will be more than one option. But that's the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about the Cobb Valley Farm Tour.
Having done both, we had much more action at Juniper Hills and earlier in the day.
Yeah, and there were some other things going on, thinking.
There was a game, it was a big game that year. Last time.
So is this just setting up like information marketing or something?
So, yeah, that's ideally what we do at the farm tour, basically just getting our name out there and our presence so people know. I mean, the ones that Connie posted, you can consider this just getting the name of the Food Policy Council out there with the addition that we're trying to do this community engagement as well. So in past years, like we've done climate action plan surveying during our tabling.
Can you send those dates to us so that I can put something?
First weekend in October, is that correct?
And the Eudora Market. Doesn't that occur during the tour like we did it last year?
I think so, I think it does.
But somebody put a link.
Yeah, so the tour is the 7th and 8th.
Okay.
It's
Really, the big one that I need help with is the Eudora Farmers Market, because we've heard, I think. Is they require you to be there the entire time, so 3:30 to 8:30. I have a full-time job, I can't just take off work to be somewhere for that. So I can be there after 5:30, but if I can get some help from 3:30 to 5:30, that would be awesome.
What day is the Eudora Farmers Market?
The project. And I know that other people have full-time jobs too, but even if you know anyone who's interested in food systems work, or people on your working groups that aren't full-time members.
I mean, I got 10 interns sitting over
yeah.
there.
So
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know how.
Say about what bodies?
They would.
they'll be sitting in with me.
A whole lot
So
about it, but I mean, they could hand out literature or something.
You know, maybe even do like a short
Yeah.
orientation.
And if we could, even if we just got like 30 minutes of overlap with an intern, that would help. Be like, hey,
Okay,
I would.
yeah, send me the things on what you need to speak on, see what I can.
Okay.
but it's flexible.
It's flexible.
Yeah, I know, movements.
Check
Okay.
it out on the farmer's markets is part of it, so.
And then there's also one more Baldwin Market, it sounds like.
No, we did the Baldwin Market, so that's done.
Okay, that's right. I didn't know if we wanted to do it again.
They don't know if they're gonna do their.
That's right.
so it's like,
I would say too, just the experience from last time, people there were not interested in talking. They might stop by and say. Pleasantries, hi, but they didn't really care.
People were.
Involved.
And
We didn't get very.
do you
I think we got 3. We got 3.
Do you think the reception will be different in Eudora?
I've heard that's a much more well-attended market.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Have we tabled at the Lawrence Market on Saturday this year?
We're doing it on the 30th.
We are.
Yeah, so we're still looking for.
Oh,
So all those dates up there are the ones that I put together in the past week.
Oh.
Sweet.
I'm going
that's
to.
right. We're training chat.
Yes, here, let me make it bigger.
What's
Did that make a difference? No.
timeline for doing these tabling events?
So just for our survey, we're at our engagement period is September 1st to October 15th, but we could certainly table outside of that. I know Emily, you probably were interested in, like, if we want to table at the holiday market, that's a opportunity too.
Because too, you tabled at Pendleton's in the past through the farm tour, they always do a holiday open house. Before and the weekends before and after Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
and so,
I think a lot of
That might
it's
be-
really a capacity thing. Like,
yeah.
So I see Maggie posted in the chat here for Eudora. I will be there at 5 for Willow. Do you want me to try to be there a little early to help with the tabling? I didn't realize they started at 3:30. The rest of us don't have to set up until 5. So Tyler, talk to Willow about what's going on.
that was the information we got from Eudora. From our
Fair.
mom.
Oh, non-food. I see. Meg.
I don't
mean,
know if it's different for people who have food or what.
Food policy council is also same. It would be the same as you, informational, right? So
I don't know. I can, if you want, Tyler, I need to ask Amy a question anyway, so I can ask her about that, just clarify and get back to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. No problem.
But and I'll also be there, but it's helpful to have 2 people in case someone needs to go eat or a restroom or anything else.
Connie and I did some reconnaissance work, secretaries talking to restaurants and food trucks. And
We were doing one at Shockies for the public patch.
That's good. I mean, if we could build up a volunteer pool, we could table a lot of things. We just never have enough people volunteer.
I know what we're advertising exactly, like just we exist.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, and take the survey.
Don't know.
Yeah, recruiting for working groups to advance work and getting more diverse voices, especially now that we have potential stipends.
So is farm, Call Valley Farm Tour in play or not?
I think we'd have to say, yeah, are you available? And so I think this is the moment where we go, who is available that weekend? And then I think this is what we're doing.
I would do it October 7th, Saturday, Sunday, since lesser than 2 days. Then going back to Juniper Hill Farm. We had a good solid 2 hours of engagement. 2 years ago. I don't know whether the Bellmans want to act.
Right. So there's the separate issue of who is available to do the Cobb Valley Farm Tour, and then we figure out where we can do it. I'll say I'm also available on Saturday the 7th for doing the first tabling for the Cobb Valley Farm Tour, at the very least.
Like, distribute this through email. And
Yeah.
maybe we can build.
Okay.
Remind me just how much materials we need to bring. I mean, how fleet of foot can we be? Do we need to have a table, or can we just bring brochures and kind of? They will say, adding the table added another dimension, or no, I would argue unnecessary dimension of coordination.
I think as long as the wind was not in our favor that day, so it's hard to like have, you know, you have an easel up with a board, and then like you have a board for the food trucks, and so as long as you feel comfortable, I guess you could have like a little utility belt thingy that you can have your brochures in. Potentially, but.
Sorry, but these need to be transported, so even without the table. so they would have to be-
That's for indoors. So
That's for-
we're gonna have a FPC one also for indoors. And for example, the food truck regulations one is very particular to the food truck community engagement. So
Would any of these be going to the Farm Valley tour?
For sure, the
Food truck.
goal area is one, and then if you wanted to do surveys to the food truck regulation one, you could or could not. I just put it together.
The Juniper Hill Farm, we were actually out of the wind and under the roof. So those would be easier to solve.
okay, I can send an Excel sheet maybe and then put the time slots and people can sign up. Would that be helpful?
Yes,
Yes, please.
Okay.
thank you.
So who makes the contact to the Elmans or the Pendletons or the?
I can do that. Okay,
If there's a need for a table, I have an extra folding, people by 6 foot.
Yeah, we have a bowling table, tablecloth, tent, chairs. We have everything we need. to
Yeah.
purchase the last.
yeah, thank you, Natalie.
You need to get the ones.
Okay,
I think this will be the most community engagement we've done in these several years. But we do all of it.
Yep.
I think it'll be great, and if we can even talk about the, community policy advisor stuff, or the more that, gets out that we're paying people to engage with us and help us out is gonna be amazing.
yes.
Cool. Anything else before we wrap up? We got 5 minutes, and all I have to say is the agenda, the meeting time for next month is wrong. It says 5:30. It is 6:30.
Thanks.
Yep. So a reminder for everybody before we wrap up, there's going to be a little bit of homework before next month. So it'll be looking at the indigenous food system homework that Connie will send out, as well as legislative session work. Be just thinking about this. These are awesome policy opportunities for us moving forward. Do a little bit of homework, familiarize yourselves with these things that we'll be chatting about. And then look for the spreadsheet as well. Keep doing amazing food work, everybody, and other work in your lives. Appreciate you all. This is from the Midnight Society. I declare this meeting closed.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. When people leave, you want to. You can take the survey.
Then what you see about the Land Institute tour? I didn't-
Oh yeah, here's, if you wanna take the
I
survey.
know the people out there. At the one that's here in town, because y'all were saying there might be a tour this week, and they don't know about it.
So where's
But-
the-
Oh, well, yeah, well, I'll set one up if we want to. I mean, if we go out to Scotty's farm, at Juniper Hills, like, we've got an experiment out there where we planted Kernza and alfalfa. Yeah, intercropping experiment. That's one of like 7 that's, across the big rainfall grading goes on.
No, I want to see that.
It's, I mean, it's kind of fun.
There's
Where Nancy's farm.
Yeah, got the one that's north of town and then go across the railroad tracks. It's Scotty's farm, I think.
Okay, because Juniper Hills farm is Nancy.
What's his name? One heart?
Ben, I was talking about, sorry, October 18th. There,
Oh,
there's,
Not about anything next Wednesday. I hear they were like, oh, we're gonna be out of town. Anyway.
no, October 18th, sorry.
That's the one here in town, or in Devon's County.